Today we're going to continue with our next shape, and this particular shape is the pyramid. So when we're dealing with the pyramids, things work very similarly. There's just one extra little piece we have to talk about. So to start off with, a pyramid is a solid shape with one polygon base and three or more triangle faces that meet at a common vertex. So a pyramid's made up of a bunch of triangles and one base. So the formula is going to look pretty similar to what we've been doing with some slight changes. So let's look at the formula. Lateral area is the perimeter of the base times this new letter, which is slant height, divided by 2. And surface area is just the lateral area plus one base this time, because a pyramid only has one base. So the slanted height is truly a slanted height. Like if I look at the picture over here, I can see that the slant height is the slanted height. It's the height of one of the triangle faces. Perimeter is still just perimeter of the base. The L we just talked about is the slanted height. And B, just like it has been in the past, is area of the base. So again, P is perimeter of the base, L is slant height, that is the height of one of the triangle sides, and B is the area of the base. All right, let's look at one of our examples. So let's look at number 1. The first thing we're going to do is draw that base off to the side like we've been doing. So that is an 8 by 8 by 8 by 8. And you're going to find the perimeter and the area of that base, just like we have been doing. So 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 32. And then 8 times 8 to get our area is 64. So now we're just going to plug it into the formula. So lateral area is the perimeter of that base times the slanted height. So we see the slanted height is this slanted line going down the side. So that is 11.7 divided by 2. So when I put that together in my calculator, we're going to get 187.2. Surface area says take whatever number you just got, so that 187.2, and add on just one base this time. So the area of the base was 64, and we add those together and we get 251.2 meters squared. So again, just perimeter of the base times the slanted height divided by 2, and then add on one base. Okay, let's try another one. Let's look at number 2. So number 2, we start off by drawing out our base like we have been doing. That is a 5 by 5 by 5. Perimeter and area is our next step. So perimeter, just add up those 4 sides, so you should get 20. Area of the base is 5 times 5, so 25, and then we just plug it in. So lateral area is the perimeter of that base times the slanted height. Again, I see the slanted height here is 7.4, and then divide by 2. So 20 times 7.4 divided by 2, and we're going to get 74 as our lateral area. Surface area says take whatever number that is plus the area of one base. So 74 plus 25, and that's going to give us 99 inches squared. All right, let's just write down our previous formulas because we're going to need them. So the prism, which we covered a couple days ago, lateral area is perimeter times the height. Surface area is take that number plus 2 bases, because a prism has 2 bases, whereas the pyramid only has 1. And then we've talked about the cylinder already. That's what we did yesterday. And the lateral area for a cylinder is 2 pi RH, where R is the radius. And the surface area says take that answer plus 2 pi R squared, because we have 2 circle bases. So those are our 2 previous formulas. We're going to need that moving forward. All right, now let's look at number 3. So number 3, again, we're going to start off by drawing that base off to the side. So this is a 16 by 16 by 16 by 16. Okay, and so we find the perimeter and area of that base. So perimeter, you just add up those 4 16s. That's going to give me 64. 16 times 16 is 256. So there's our base work, our groundwork. And now we need to find our lateral area. So lateral area is going to be that perimeter, 64, times our slant height. Now, if I look at this picture, the slant height should have been going down the side of the triangle, so it didn't give us our slant height. It means we got to find it. So we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. And I see if this whole base is 16, then that means this little guy has to be half of that, so that's 8. So we're going to have 3 squared plus 8 squared equals our slanted height squared. So 9 plus 64 equals your slant height. You add those together, you're going to get 73. And then you're going to square root that. So x is going to end up being 8.5. Okay, so now I can plug that in. So 8.5 is my slant height, and then divide by 2. So when I do that in the calculator, we should get 272. And then surface area says take that answer plus the area of one base, so 256, for a total of 528 feet squared. So that's going to be our total surface area. All right, number 4. Now this one is a hexagon base, and I know that we're going to have to do our groundwork. So to get perimeter, like I notice all of these are marked congruent. And since one of them is 6, that means all of them are 6. So 6 times 6 gives us a perimeter of 36. It already gives us the area of the base, so we already have that. That's 93.53. So now we just plug it in. So lateral area equals the perimeter of the base plus times our slanted height, which it gives us is 11.3, and then divide that by 2. So when I do all that in the calculator, we should get 203.4. Surface area says take that number, 203.4, plus the area of the base, which it gave us, 93.53. And when we add those together, we're going to get 296.9 yards squared. Okay, one problem left. Okay, on number 5, this is kind of like what we did the other day. This is 2 different shapes stuck together. So we have a rectangle prism and we have a pyramid. So let's concentrate on the prism first. So we're going to do our groundwork. We're going to find our little pieces here. So this is a 15 by 5 by 15 by 5. So perimeter says add up those numbers. We're going to get 40. Area of the base says take 15 times 5. You'll get a total of 75. And now we can work with our formula. So lateral area is supposed to be perimeter times the height when you're dealing with a prism. So this is going to be 40 times the height of the prism is this 7. So 40 times 7 is going to give me 280. Now if I think about this and I'm wrapping it with paper, we are not going to be wrapping this piece up because that's covered up. So we only want one base here. So we're just going to add on one base. So we're going to do 280 plus 75 to get a total of 355 for the prism part. Like that's what we need for the prism. Now let's look at the pyramid. Now the base of the pyramid and the base of the prism are the same. So I don't have to do the groundwork this time. We've already got it. We did it right here. So lateral area of the pyramid is going to be perimeter times slant height divided by 2. So we're going to have the 40. It gives us the slant height. So the slant height here is going to be this 13 that it gave us. So times 13 and then divide by 2. So 40 times 13 divided by 2 is 260. All right, we're not going to add the base because just like before, it's covered up here. So we're not going to add the base. So now all we have to do is add these two numbers together. So our total surface area is going to be 355 plus 260, which gives me a total of 615 centimeters squared. Okay, so that should take care of your notes. Now I did post the hints for every problem. Like number 4 on the homework is a little rough. So if you look at the hint, it should help you if you're struggling. And then I also posted answers so that you can see if you're doing it right. Obviously, if you have any questions, you can email me.